Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. Hello, I'm your host, Mike. How's it going, everybody? We had a wonderful little break, and we're right back into it, so let's get going. I decided to start the new year off with a new character. We're gonna have some fun. Just gonna do a little bit early leveling, see what shenanigans we can get up to, and answer some questions, have some fun, relax, have a great day. If this is your first time here, welcome. I saw a few already. Glad to have you here. If you have a question for me, I'll be happy to answer it. Please put @Last Epoch Game in the questions so I see it and answer it. And as always, we do stream for charity, and that's above my head. And so all the everything from the stream goes to that. That's about it. Hope y'all having a wonderful time. Gotta get this. Come on, where's our first AoE ability? Come on, let's get one of those. Come on, there it is. Oh, it's not. Since when is Elemental Nova not the second skill you get, huh? Since when? Probably a long time. All right. What are we gonna, let's I think we'll just level Glacier, because that's the easy way to go. But I think I might do the Shadow Strike build that we are currently emphasizing over on the Eterra Monthly that just went out today, which I answered a few questions for. So if you have any desire to hear about Stargate from me, you can go read that. Let me get into some questions here. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the pre-stream subs. We've got one from Arrowweird gifted to Kane. Thank you. And Kane passed that along. And Master Sword for 44 months. That is, I mentioned how long I've been doing this, and I'm like, I think I just have to like look at like one of these like crazy high sub chains to like find out exactly how long it's been. And I think that's how long it's been. I think it's 44 months, or very close to it. And Master Sword, I can't wait either. Thank you very much. All right. Get some questions in here. Welcome back from Xmas and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Hi, Aaron. Good to see you. I'll say this right now. After the stream, I think a little bit after the stream, I'm not sure when exactly, but I think that Aaron's got something cool planned. I don't know if I should say exactly what it is or not. But there will be something cool little follow-up there for you. With some other people as well.
Come, let me watch you fight.
Who, if you're here, you probably know of them. First question from Steve. First question back. Yeah, new year, first one. You're looking incredible, mate. Congrats on the new life journey. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, feeling good. All right. Just got into Last Epoch for the first time, and it has its hooks in me. Super excited for April. Me too. Me too.
Smoke.
It smokes real bad. All right. Where's our Elemental Nova? Ooh, let's take those and those. Are you going for the community spotlight build for the monthly newsletter? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Have you guys decided on a date to release the engine upgrade? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure though. I got back from holidays and I'm like, all right, let's crack open this triple-digit ping count and see what I can get started on. A lot of those were automated, just like, Here's a meeting that happens every week that you missed because the studio was closed. Oh yeah. Oh, you just got like a chest crack pop thing. Oh, weird. All right, next question. In the next season, will there be exclusive content we won't see in Legacy? Ah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer. So what we did last time, and I sort of assume this is what we would do next time as well. So we're guessing here, but I think as we did last time, anything that was exclusive was eventually brought everywhere once it was like unlocked or once it was like completed in the initial new season. I'm training myself to use season instead of cycle. We're getting okay at it. Get a passive. Let's get some damage. Probably should have taken the int instead, actually. That's okay. Let's go straight for Nova. Damage area. You can have that kill grail. Ooh. We'll take crit chance. I guess I could be just crafting, couldn't I? Like, let's discovery. There we go. Let's reroll that. Need health. Yeah. Whatever's still better than what I was wearing. Yeah. Why am I opening one of those? Come on. Quit double clicking. Membrane of my mouse is going. All right. Yeah, so I don't think anything will be exclusive to Legacy. If anything, there might be a slight time delay on something, but I'm pretty sure everything's just available everywhere. All right, next one. Hey, how are you? Pretty great. Can you tell us everything about season 2? I could, but I'd be wrong about half of it, and I'd get in a lot of trouble. I'm not going to. I'm sorry.
Well done. We're almost there. I'll see you ahead.
Stuff equipped, so we can pitch the base ones, 'cause you can't really upgrade those. Move speed. Yeah. Now we're cooking. All right. Is it worth waiting for the April update? How big will it be? I mean, is it worth waiting for it? Is such a hard thing to answer. I think the game's fantastic right now, and if you're interested in it, I don't know. I'd suggest jumping in and playing for a little bit and getting your feet wet and having some fun. Taking a break and coming back and playing in April. I think there's lots of time for that. But I mean, if you've got other things you're itching to play too, you don't need to. So it's kind of a hard question to answer. It is going to be a very substantial update. Let's join these guys. That's why I'm on the other one.
Before I go, I have an offer for you. There's something
Yeah.
about you that I like.
I don't know why I was leveling stuff up. Just pull stuff out right now. It's like nothing useful though. Because I'm way too low level. There's gonna be some. Like, might as well, right? Done better? Dexterity and armor? Is that attunement? Doesn't really matter. Keeper's gloves. Just put every unique on we can. There we are. That's what I was looking for. Should be good otherwise. Yeah. Might as well slap a shield on, right? I mean, we could just go straight into melee.
Grail was just one both the bot. Not you could they do this, and our alliance is secure. We'll lend our aid to heal warriors.
All right. A lot of the stuff in April is focused around like endgame content, and so like I don't know. It's so hard to say because obviously I just want to be like, yeah, play the game now. It's great. It's tons of fun. And I think that's true, but I don't want to be like, I don't know. I have a hard time with things like this. Merch Star update. No, I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. I'd love to. Any news on the public API? We're looking forward to starting building a little tool. So usually when this gets asked, there is I don't know, if you asked this before, I've probably given you the same answer before as well. It's probably not going to include some stuff you're hoping for it to include. But I think the API version that we do have is still in like preview mode. What are you hoping for it to do? I guess would be my question. You can! Oh, thanks, Aaron. Talking to Try is coming to the podcast with Frosty and Aaron. So that'll be happening shortly after the dev stream. Fun stuff. No. More questions. Are there any areas of the games you guys need more community feedback on? I mean, everywhere we always love feedback. I don't know if there's a specific area where we're like, ooh, I wish someone would start giving us feedback here. But yeah, I mean, there's always room for feedback in basically every section of the game. So it's something that you're playing. I guess whatever you're naturally playing is where we want the feedback, really. There's also areas that we don't see much feedback from. It can kind of mean a couple things as well. It can mean that people just aren't playing it because they don't find it like enticing to do initially, or they aren't playing it because there's something about it that's not fun, so they stop doing it. So sometimes the lack of feedback kind of, in a weird roundabout way, is feedback. Ooh, yeah. Free chain lightning. I'll take it. It's like the best thing to get right here. Are there any areas of the game? It's that. Master Sword, Mike. I'm not familiar. Can you share more on your recent life changes? Yeah, I mean, it's really not a lot to share. I decided to lose a bunch of weight, and I did. Dropped about 1/3 of my body weight. In a healthy and controlled way via diet and exercise. That's the important part. I didn't, so because you only see like here up of me, it was kind of hard to tell, but I was not healthy for a while there. All right, it wasn't a real vacation if you haven't collected 100+ mails when you come back. Yep. That is the truth. Fireball. We're getting all the good ones. This is wonderful. Cruising. Oh, it's so easy. All right. As it is right now, arena keys are mostly used for specific unique drops or prophecy completion. Got any plans to buff the rewards? I think there's... not specifically, no. I do think that it's a good thing that there's rewards that are less individually exciting, where you're like less sought after, but still things that you do kind of want to have access to a little bit here and there. We are expanding the way Endgame works and the way the number of rewards you'll have access to. So you'll see, if you're not going to actively seek out arena keys, you'll probably see a little bit fewer of them. And if you are actively seeking them out, you'll probably see a little bit more of them. So yeah, it's... there is some changes there, but it's kind of incidental changes. But I think it'll be positive for what you're hoping for, given the way that was framed. Do you think you could beat Grail in a 1v1 fight if you had a weapon of your choice? Like me personally, if Grail was like a real person, probably not. I mean, unless that weapon of choice is like a modern weapon. But I would try for honor. As it is right now, arena keys are... sorry if this is asked before. That's quite all right. Repeat questions are welcome here. We get them all the time. It's no big deal. But I haven't seen too much about the engine upgrade since the posts. What kind of stuff is changing with that? So there's not going to be... as far as like most people's experience when we do release the engine update, you're probably going to be in one of two camps. And this is just a post something I said earlier on the forums, and it's basically you're either going to go, did something change? Like, what? It's exactly the same. Or you're going to be like, hey, that weird random bug that I had that no one believed me was actually there, it suddenly fixed itself, even though it wasn't patch noted, it just disappeared. You know, you're probably going to be in one of those two camps. And what the big thing is it does is it's going to give us access to some new tools and some new technologies that we can use to fix bugs, add new things to the game. There's some of the new features that we're adding for 1.2 required us to upgrade the engine. You know, so there's a lot of stuff that you're going to see in 1.2 that will be a result of having that. But the actual engine upgrade patch probably won't change too much right out of the gate. Part of it is like we've just been testing it a ton because stability is really important, and having a smooth gameplay experience is really important. And one of the big things we've been doing with the reason why it's taken a little bit here is because we've been just testing it like crazy. And part of the reason we are releasing the engine update sort of on its own before the before 1.2 is so that we have that time to, if there's any little things that we missed for stability and stuff like that, we can catch it in a more controlled environment. So we're doing just pieces at a time instead of the whole like 1.2 and the engine update at the exact same time. Just playing it safe. That's all it is. No, I just want one more damage. Because we just like damage. It's pretty good. Alright, any specific nerfs to some iconic builds? Yeah, there's gonna be some nerfs, there's gonna be some buffs, there's gonna be some rebalancing of all sorts, new functionality, all that sort of stuff. We are looking to, you know, bring the really heavy outliers in both directions closer to the pack. And we don't want every build to perform identically to each other, but you know, having such a big range is probably not ideal right now. Alright, let's get Flame One on the bar. Can't hurt to have it.
Fools.
I didn't even look what that one was. Yeah, I'll take that. Am I just like invincible right now? Oh, actually, I'm wasting so much stuff right now, and that's okay. You know. Wow. Did it actually get any better from the base version? I don't know. All right. Yeah, if you have a question, please put at Last Epoch Game in the question so I know you're looking for me to answer it specifically. I've been leveling alts with that faction waypoint unlock. It's going to be so much better soon. Yeah, it doesn't. Just to be clear, that faction waypoint unlock doesn't, like, you can't walk out. So like right now, I can't actually go to. I don't think I can actually go there, can I? Yeah, because it's locked, so it unlocks during the campaign. I can't like warp there right now. Where is it? Yeah, I can't just go. But you like when we do unlock that in the update, you won't be able to physically walk out of here into the upper district, so you won't be able to jump ahead in the campaign. Just to be clear, and it does say that in the post, but I want to make sure that's obvious. outside of the big Sentinel skill changes, will the other classes also have some dramatic skill changes, interactions, or will they have more numerical updates? There's going to be a whole host of both. So there's going to be, I would say, more mechanical changes on Sentinel than the other four combined, because there's a lot on Sentinel, but everyone gets something. And I mean, there's like, there can be things as small as like a unique item can have a unique item can have a huge impact on a build and a class and the way it plays and all that sort of thing. So, like there's changes in passives, there's changes in skill trees, there's changes in all sorts of stuff all over the place. Sentinel is just by far getting the most because one of its, or volatile, we've said it by now, volatile reversal, one of its like core primary abilities that is used in just about every build, for the wrong reasons, is getting a complete overhaul, base functionality, skill tree, the works, the way it interacts with other skills, items, everything. And that has a huge ripple effect because basically every other skill in Sentinel was hanging on by a thread damage-wise just because it was being propped up by volatile reversal. And so now that we've kind of taken that requirement for volatile reversal to be used away from the ability, so everything else needed to get a big buff, basically.
Eterra's blessing. Prayers be with you.
Any plans for future totem builds like fire totem, storm totem, ice totem, so on? Well, we do have, like, there are totems. There's not much in the way of fire totems, really. Fire is kind of a low synergy element for that class that I'm remembering the name of right now and saying out loud to you, Shaman. Get your dodge rating. Void Red, sure, we'll take it. Cast speed. Oh, I want it. But I want it. Sure. This is something that's interesting, that Runes of Discovery don't take any forging potential, and they just can fill a white item up completely. So you can very quickly get, like, a lot of stats on some early items if you just want to just get something going.
Everything okay? What we there? Are you stay safe, stay alive, and bring Balthus back.
I don't know why I slapped 1 point in health and mana earlier. Whatever though. Do you have an estimate of the expected season lengths going forward? I don't. I keep saying estimates for things like that, and I keep being wrong, and I don't like being wrong, so I'm not going to say an estimate right now. We'll get closer to the date and be able to be more accurate with things like that. Tunneled over the wrong side. Alright, is there a way to apply for the beta to help sort out bugs and imbalances? Yeah, so we do have a community tester program. And what that is there's basically early game builds that come out, and we offer to give people access to that in exchange for feedback. I do not know, so I don't think it's open for signups right now, but I hope it will be soon. And when it does eventually open back up again, we'll be posting on, there'll probably be a post on Discord in the news section, so I would keep an eye there. When will a Terminator class be playable? I'd love that. Just like I'll start out almost like deprived class in Dark Souls. Is it deprived? I mean, I totally know. Play the game so much. So good at it. Terrible at it. Here we go. Yes. I'm so bad, but I'm so stubborn. So like, playing Elden Ring, I'm like, I will not change or fix my build. I can do this with skill that I don't have. 200 attempts later. All right, have you ever thought about making a stash tab unique catalog like PoE has so we can know when we've collected all items and work towards it? Would be sick. Yes, definitely. We have had this suggestion many times, and I love the idea. There's like a Grail Quest tab, basically, or Grail tab is what I don't know how that's how I think of it, and I love the idea. We don't have any plans to add one at the moment. I really hope we do eventually. The one thing that I always I'm always kind of like, I don't know which way the best way to do it is when I think about things like that is, should it actually store the item, or should it just track which items you found? So like, just be like a checklist to be like, oh, yep, you found this one, you found this one, you found this one, or like an actual place to store each one. Like you have one storage spot, one free extra storage spot for every unique in the game. And I don't know which way I like the most. Because on one hand, having the storage spot for the item is nice, because then there's like an organized way, and you can always find a unique if you're like starting a new character and you're like, I have a bajillion alts, and you're like, oh, okay, let me just head to my catalog, and here's like, there's probably one in there type thing. But then at the same time, it kind of requires you to put your only copy of some really rare ones in there to finish it. And so I'm not really sure which side of it that I like the most. Right. Just popping in to say that I love this game, and I'm greatly looking forward to the next update. Thank you. Me too. Ignore if they are in. I have already read it, so I will not ignore it. But are affinities coming to LE? Like tab affinities? Like stash tab affinities? That's usually what people mean when they say affinities, and we have those. Pretty sure those are in live. That got pushed to live, didn't it? I think. I'll double check my stash when we get there, but I'm pretty sure that's on live. I've been using it, haven't I? It's, yeah, that's definitely on live. What am I talking about? If you mean something else, please let me know. What's your favorite class? Rogue. Rogue is my favorite class. It takes everything in me not to just play Rogue every single time. I love it. Falconer was so much fun to make. It's part of that team. Small part of that team. Oh, medium part of that team. Not gonna sell myself too short. Okay, next question. Oh, weird, that ping didn't work, but I see it anyways. What are one of the major changes to the Sentinel class? I mean, there's quite a few. There's a bunch in the, if you haven't seen the Eterra monthly post, there's a list of all the spoilers we did last month. I think Kane's been linking that. There's one of my favorites in there is the ability to wield a two-handed weapon and a shield at the same time. There is a downside to that node, which we did not spoil yet, because we're still tweaking the numbers on it, making sure we're pleased with the exact amount that it's taking away from other stuff. But yeah, using a two-hander with a shield is pretty huge. There's a lot of things that opens up, especially on abilities like Javelin, where you're using a two-handed spear and a shield now, so there's a bunch of new defensive options there. And some new nodes that work and synergies that work that didn't work before. Yeah, some cool stuff there. Just gonna sell these items, why not? I'm sure some of these are better than what I'm wearing, and I just sold a unique, and I don't really care. It's not a good one.
He's back. He's been quiet.
You're back. Not Irina. I'm so sorry to you too. This is
Wrong way.
what's best for us all.
Will there be community events and races in the future like PoE had for the world first Shaper Kill and community leagues to keep the game alive between leagues? Yes, definitely. We've done a few events and there's been a few community run events and things like that. We're very big fans of those sorts of things, and we want to do more and more and more of them. We've been adding some tools on our back end to be able to do that more efficiently. Yeah. When you set a stash tab to a group of items, example idols, when you right click the idol, it goes to that tab regardless if you're looking at the tab or not. Yeah, yes, we have that. Yeah, what do we call that? Stash priorities? The priority tab priority? When you go to your stash, I could have just looked at it there. When you go to your stash, there's a let's just go look. Doesn't take long. You can always go back. When you come in here, you can nope, not category, tab. If you right click on a tab, you can see this tab priority right here, and you can pick different weapon or miscellaneous types as well, and put specific things in there, and then you can pick specific properties of those things and other specific requirements and things like that. So it'll auto sort for you into those tabs. Keep enhancing the game. Yeah, we will. Love it, the game and progression for improvement. Thank you. Give us Steam achievement, please. Yes. I want Steam achievements so bad. They're so nice. I lots of these things I've said before elsewhere, but like I love. So I play a fair bit of Civ as well, and there's so many ridiculous achievements in Civ that happen by accident all the time. Where you're just like, it pops up, and it's like, do this thing, and you're like, okay, I wonder what city has that unlocked. Or one of my favorites being, it's use the great people, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, and Leonardo. Wow. In the same city that has sewers built in it. And, yeah, Pizza Time achievement, I think. Great one. My 4-year-old likes to watch me play and would like it if you added more dinosaurs. Well, you know what? Good news. Not in this patch, but something we are working on quite a bit is a lot more ancient era dinosaur stuff. So you know what? We're working on it. Sure. I like being able to just say yes to things like that. Lightning, nearby enemies ignited. We are gonna go. Yeah. Yeah. Any updates on a console release? No, we don't have any information regarding a potential console release. It's something that we really want to do, but there's a lot of groundwork that needs to get laid before we can really even commit to specifics there. We are doing a lot of work on like Steam Deck improvements and our just controller improvements in general. So we are in 1.2 adding in context and specialization specific controller targeting systems for every single ability in the game. So what does that mean? Because that was a big mouthful of technical mumbo jumbo that didn't really say much. Basically, when you cast Fireball, it's gonna actually turn and fire and shoot Fireball at the most logical enemy. And if you have Fireball that has, probably maybe a bad example. If you have, it's a better one. Okay, let's say you have a Ballista. Here's a good example. Ballista has certain nodes in Ballista where you really want to cast it near you so that it will get buffs, because it buffs you and you buff it, and so standing nearby it is really important. But then there's nodes where it's got like a tripwire between the two ballistas, get tripwire between them, and they explode and they deal damage to enemies near them. So you want to place the ballista near your enemies. And so depending on which specialization you've picked, it will either place them close to you or close to enemies. So it's context specific targeting for each individual ability based on how you specialized it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot more smooth to play on controller. And so it has like a each one of them has a primary targeting, a secondary fallback targeting, and then the default is just whatever it currently does now in the game, if it just can't find a good option for the primary and secondary.
Minimus, run, you stupid one. Leave me.
It's okay. It's okay. We shall avenge you. All right. I hope you had a great holiday and looking forward to the updates to LE. Hoping the controller keybinds can be customized so that A button can be used as a skill. So that A button, like the A button on a controller. There's a few buttons that can't be. I think we're expanding some of those. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. I will say that if you really want to do it now, you probably can. Most controllers have a way to rebind controller inputs, and especially just Steam does it as well. So you can like remap your buttons on your controller in Steam anyways, and then it'll just map to a different button. It'll say the wrong button, which can sometimes be disorienting to people. But welcome to the life of owning Switch controllers for PC. Not gonna take it off the cradle, actually, as it will connect to the game. How does it feel when you see big names like Diablo and PoE take things that you created, introduce them, put them into their games? I mean, like it's incredible when you can see the influence you're having on the games that you love to play in general. It's so cool having that, like, and like I don't think it's as cut and dry, just like, oh, they see something, they take something. It's like you're solving the same problems lots of times. I know there's been times when us and PoE have been like actively working on the same thing at the same time, and you know, like it happens the other way too, where we release something and someone else, it's like, oh, it's just from some other game. So I don't think there's any like malicious intent happening or anything like that, but it is very cool to see when it's almost validating, you know, like where you're like this thing you worked on, and it's like even if it had nothing to do with, I mean, especially actually if it had nothing to do with seeing it in our game first, and it just happened to be spontaneously the same or similar implementations for solving problems, and just being like, okay, well, they think it's a good idea too, you know. And that's really cool to see.
What brings you here? Eterra's race viewings.
We're gonna start up a filter here, I think. New mage leveling. This one, and is this one? This is the icon, yeah. Add a rule. Hide. Item, nope. Item rarity. We're just gonna hide normal items. We're just done with those. We're past that. Will the loot lizards and extra shrines be staying in the game, or was that event only? They are sticking around. They're sticking around. Everything that's in the game right now is standard, is long term, is here to stay. I mean, there's like nodes on certain things that might get adjusted and stuff like that, but yeah, mechanics, features you see right now, they're in the game, they're here. They're getting updates, like there's certain shrines that are being tweaked in how they work, certain like spawn rates and drop rates on loot lizards are being adjusted so that they're I think a little bit less frequent and a little bit more exciting, and you know, things like that. So we're making tweaks and adjustments to all those things, but the features and the functionality, the core, the way it works, everything, that's all here to stay. Ooh, look at that! We don't hate those. We don't hate those at all. I do have a pair I could have just gone and picked up, but you know, it's cool, find it yourself. When will we see our first flight capable class? Like, like actually getting wings? I mean, technically, Swarmblade's got wings.
Keep them off me.
It flies a little bit. Yeah? Does that count? I think it counts. I'm calling it.
I cannot do that.
And we're gonna put Mana Strike on our bar.
Only a little longer.
I cannot do that.
Lovely. Look at those bees. Look at those bee boys. Leatherbound tome. Don't forget to put at Last Epoch game in the question if you'd like me to answer it. Get those, get that. Get some quest action going. Give me some idols.
Now, it would be every the gods have long left this world, but their
Just a few.
memory will give you comfort. Be safe, traveler.
Yes, please. idols here. Mana lightning res. Ward retention and health. Great one to have. Armor and Ellie res? Sure. Sure. Why not? I'll probably snag a couple more uniques here for leveling in a minute. Probably should have done it there. Whatever. We're cruising. Are there any quality of life planned for the next up cycle? Season. We're calling them seasons now. Yes, there's lots of quality of life stuff planned for next season. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff all over the place. Unrelated, but I feel like let's share some stuff right now. Teaser 1, here we go. I only have 2 today, but they're both cool. So, this is the first one. This is an update for a Sentinel node. I'm pretty sure I'm like 90% sure we haven't shared this one yet. If we have already, I'm sorry. But here we go. So this is a new Void Knight passive node that is quite nice. Leave that on screen for a second. Are Blade Dancer, Marksman, and Shaman getting their 5th skill in Season 2? Technically, I can answer no to that question. But when it comes, you'll be like, Mike, you lied. And I'll be like, no, I didn't. Technicality. Haha, deal with it. And now you're like, oh, they are. They're not. I know I'm the worst, aren't I? In general, what is the studio's view on auto bomber builds, i.e. builds with 0 or 1 buttons? I think the company line on it is probably for the most part builds that engage a player a little bit more are generally more desirable for us to have in high quantities at the end game. You know, we like active playstyles being fun, engaging, and high power. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have an active playstyle to play the game, but we really want to make sure that we're not in a situation where all the best builds are 0 and 1 button builds. You know, like we want to make sure that there are definitely some absolute top tier builds that are active playstyles. But I think if we got to a situation where there weren't any top tier builds, I mean like S tier builds that were like 0 and 1 button builds, if that just like wasn't a thing, I don't think we'd probably go out of our way to make sure we added one. Yeah, we might, but it'd probably just be like, one will show up, it's fine. It's probably what we'd say type thing. So it's, yeah. Not the first choice, but we don't actively try and remove them either. So we don't look at a build and go, hey, that's not active enough. Let's get rid of it. You know, we don't take that approach. And we do intentionally put nodes in the game that, like, while we're designing the skill trees, we're like, we'll literally say this one's for the lazies, and it'll be in. So, you know, it's one of those things we do know that some people don't like to have that super active play style. But, you know, we don't want to force everyone down that path either. Oh my goodness. Thanks, game. Yeah, my bad. I put it's, you know, first stream back. I've got to do it, right? That was definitely intentional. Yep. It's just, you know, it's a trope at this point, and I'm hanging a lampshade on it. No big deal. Yeah, I know. It's just I'm just a fool. It's fine. What can you share about Sentinel changes and balancing for Cycle 2? Not a lot of details. There's a bunch of nodes that we have put out there, and so I would check those out. Big things, stuff I've talked about already this stream. Things like there's volatile reversal was being used as a cooldown, like an on cooldown buff ability, and so we've kind of ripped that out. Volatile reversal is still a very, very good ability. It doesn't fit perfectly in every single build, no matter what now. and I think it's a lot more fun to play. I think people are going to start taking it because they like the play pattern and they're using it for the functionality that it has, and that it's actually improving their build and synergizing with their build, not just, hey, this is a buff button. And so, yeah, we're taking a lot of the power that was coming from Volatile Reversal and we're putting it elsewhere. We're adding in more conversions, more defensive options, more synergies, more cross-ability synergies. That node that's over that way in the corner. What do we get? What do we get? That's not terrible. You have ward, I have ward. Haha, mine lasted longer. Deal with it. Oh no, yours is back. Mine's not off cooldown yet. Oh jeez, Rip. Okay. Next time you will perish, not me. Fave character and why? Rogue. The flow, the feel, it just, I don't know, it speaks to me a little bit. There's something about that fast movement. Shift is my favorite ability in the game, I think. I really like, I played Riven in LoL a bunch, and like Dancing Strikes is just, it feels so smooth. I remember when I first, I wasn't involved in making Dancing Strikes initially. And when I saw the first version of it, I was just hooked. I'm like, yes, this is it. This is what I want. Then we made the skill tree. Quite pleased with it. That one does need a little power, I think. This, yeah. Rain lightning down. It's a shaman skill, but it works. Hi Mike and team, is there any ETA for the release of the new engine update? Sorry if I missed that. You did not miss it. We don't have a specific time yet. I'm sorry. Will you guys add Steam achievements anytime soon? Probably not super soon. I know we were just adding some stuff to the game to make it possible to do smoothly. And I know we've been brainstorming some, but it's not implemented at the moment. Ding, level up, ding, level up. Have I noticed the bug? Probably. But if you have a bug report, please use the in-game bug reporting tool right here. It is wonderful. It takes data from your game client. If you leave the attached player data here, it's your log file. That's all it is. And helps a lot in finding these bugs. I'll read what it is, but I'm not gonna be able to help you with it. Sorry. Have you noticed the bug where enemies in maps and sometimes even bosses are invisible? Their skill effects and auras are visible and can be damaged and do damage, but the character model is invisible. I haven't actually. It's something that has been happening to me since I first tried the game. I did send a report about it. Cool. After the engine update, will we see new seasons more frequently? I certainly hope so. Don't have any specifics on timing of those things at the moment. But, you know, 9 months is a long time to wait.
It is the consequences of our actions. History
Definitely was not our intention
it is made.
when we set out for this
We
season.
must act.
I cannot do that.
But it's gonna be a good one. I'm very excited for it. And I think one great one will end up being better than one okay one and one good one. When can we expect the new cycle? About February? Asking my friend. Nope. The new season is in April. We do have that announced already, so this was not an announcement, just for the record. Okay, thanks, Mike. You are welcome. I don't know what question that was. I apologize, but you're welcome either way. I hope it was a good answer. Melee minions feel weaker to the archer counterparts. Any chance to see a buff to the melee minions? Also, not a lot of player use skeleton rogues because of the low crit chance. Any chance for that to change? I mean, there's always a chance. So you're saying there's, yes, there's always a chance. I do not know. I don't like giving out specifics on balance changes, especially on stream, especially when we're kind of far out still. Just because a lot of those number tweaks happen in the second half of the cycle, the development cycle. So it's, you know, there's a lot of stuff like that comes from feedback from the CT program that we talked about earlier, and just, you know, like once we get closer and more features are in, and we're doing internal playtests, and you know, people are giving feedback internally too. So there's things like that will start to get solidified a little bit more as we go forward. I don't have specific details for you right now. Where do we go? Do we just go ice? Start doing ice and just stack pure cold? Sure, why not? We're going down here, aren't we? Yeah. Ice Vortex can be good too. Might do that. I assume you played PoE 2 over the break a little bit, not as much as I wanted to. I have finished Act 1. I request no spoilers. I know I'm like really not very far at all. I finished Act 1 on 4 characters now, because I keep, I don't know, going back. This one, yeah.
I cannot do.
Going down. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Anything from the game that you just loved and made you think about a way to implement something similar in LE? Yeah, it's the dumbest little thing ever. The ability to pin a tooltip and move it around the screen is so glorious. If anyone from PoE2 or from GGG made that, I love you. Whoever you are, you're wonderful. It's great. Thank you. The way our tooltips are set up, it will not work. It will require a lot of changes to make work, sadly.
Stop him.
So don't expect it in LE anytime soon. I wish we could. Volcanic orb, love it. Should we see what else we can do? I'm sure we've got something. Yeah, like those, I just like shift right clicked those gloves and they went into, probably right there, that's probably them. Into the unique tab, because I had this one set up already. Yeah. Anything super awesome? Viper Tail? What's useful? This is not useful, is it? Not really. They're bees. They're minions, right? And that's not terrible, actually. Sure. I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff in the ground. I might check these rings, actually. Fade, Fear Leap, Traversal, Taste of Blood. This is new art for Taste of Blood. It used to be different. Love the new art. We're not gonna stay here long. Let's get back to some questions, Mike. You're stalling. What are you doing? Why are you taking so long, Mike? That's what's going on in my head right now while I'm doing this. I mean, I don't hate that. I'm not using it much. We're gonna get teleport soon. You want some dexterity instead? Sure. The smallest upgrade of all time.
Not do that.
Hey, person. Oh, we've got MTX we can wear. Never have MTX I can wear. Put something cool on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're going that set. That's happening. Which one do we like? Do you love the pedals? Oh, backpack. It's got my face on it. Can't not wear something with my face on it. Let's go with this guy. Just want the one though. If you look real carefully, that right there, that's my face. Wearing this tutu as a, like, around my neck. Yes, it's a Halloween costume for like a 10-year-old. Are there any questions / topics that haven't been asked that you really want to talk about? That I'm allowed to talk about? Not really. You guys do the questions that get asked here are so surprisingly good. Like kind of weirdly good questions. I don't know. I see someone that guessed on an answer I was gonna say about coming from the stuff from PoE 2. My money's on WASD. I tried it. I couldn't do it. I don't know what it is. Like I know it is objectively better, and I just like physically can't bring my body to do it. I don't know what it is. I'm just so set in my ways that it just broke me. Ooh. Actually having to play? What? How dare you make me think? It's a good fight. Slap that helmet on. We're gonna hurt ourselves a bunch, and we're like doing no fire damage, and we're not using fire skills. Put that helmet back on. Find something here. Oh boy. Quick upgrades. Quick upgrades. Garbage tier upgrades. Oh, I can do this, can't I? Don't need to do this at all. Completely unnecessary. Minion damage. Elemental damage. We'll take it. Will season 2 be released in early, mid, or late April? I'm sorry, I can't tell you. I would love to. We do have a set target date. I'll say that. We've picked out a day where we're like, that's the one. All right. The worst part about CT program is not being allowed to tell other people how excited I am about the upcoming changes. You can say you're excited. You can absolutely say you're excited. It's about all you can say, though. But yeah, I feel your pain. Believe me, I feel your pain. It is really nice when someone like getting to go into the CT. I don't talk a lot in the CT Discord, but I do read a lot of the stuff in there, and so it is really nice to go in there and see people's reactions to things that we're working on early. And it's been very validating recently of like, okay, this is gonna go well. This is gonna be good. It's like, it's calmed me down a lot. And that's not to say they're not critical, because they are always very critical, and it's super important that they are critical. But I am confident that it'll be a fun and well-received patch. Partially because of their criticisms. Speaking of crit, did it there. All right. Is there any skill you'd really like to create a unique for? I mean, this is tricky because like if there's one that I really want to do this to, I can just go do it. And there's a skill that we're planning on adding, and it got cut from 1.2 that I've got a plan for a unique for it that I'm really excited for. That I know is kind of a cop-out answer because I can't talk about it at all. But for a skill in the game right now, take a look. Is there anything here that I'd really like to make an item for that is here already? I heard something fighting me. Probably Sabretooth. Sabretooth is it's an ability that's been sitting on the sidelines because it needed like a visual update and a base functionality update. And I've really loved the vibe of Sabretooth. It's I think it's one of Sabretooth or Raptor are my favorite two summons for Primalist. And I'd really like to make an item that that like plays into the low minion count, either Sabretooth or Raptor style. That's what I'd love to do. Definitely not writing that down right now. No idea what you're talking about. All right. Gotta do Barbarian Mastery when? Yeah, I'd love to do a Barbarian Mastery. I would. I really would. And I'm laughing because it gets brought up like every time. Not working on a Barbarian Mastery right now. I'm sorry. Just to be clear. Not working on any masteries at all right now. But I would love to get some new masteries going again. That'd be sweet. Okay, I'm being told that I'm really far behind in chat and I should speed up. Thank you. Can I ask a personal question? Yes, you may. I might not answer. Probably will though. What is your favorite pet build and why? Maybe even outside LE. I really like builds in games that I'll give I'll give an in and out of LE example. I really like builds that shouldn't work, that are like, well, that's not what the class is trying to do, type builds. So like one of my favorite builds ever in D2, my favorite games ever, was is Enchantress, which is or like using rune words to get paladin auras on a Sorc, and doing like enchant to buff your melee and be like a melee Sorc in D2, which there's fringe support for at best, and it's not great, but like and there's the Fire Claws Druid that are Sorc that you know came up a little bit, but you know, like I really love doing things like that. And when I was like a kid playing D2 before I knew what I was doing at all, I would make enchantresses like every season, like every ladder reset. I'd be like, all right, we're going enchantress this time, and all my friends are like, Mike, you do this every time and it's terrible every time. Stop. Nope, I refuse. And we're leveling, and they're hitting every single attack because enchant gives a bajillion attack rating, and then who's confused? Never mind. So I love builds like that, and so coming back to my favorite build, or my favorite class in LE, like a two-handed blade dancer, a big fan of, because it's like it's melee, and there's like support for lots of melee stuff, but it really wants to do dual wielding, and you know, like having that like twist on it. I love doing stuff like that. Do I teleport yet and I've just like been ignoring it? Yes I do. My goodness, Mike, what are you even thinking? Like, why am I not using teleport? I feel like I should have it by now, right? Yep. All right, I'd go for storage spot list. Oh, this is the unique. Oh my god, I'm far behind. But it gives you a minimum roll, so you take it out. Yeah. Like it like bricks the item when you put it in, so you can still use it if you want. I feel like if we were gonna put it in, you might as well be able to use it when you take it out. Normally, you might as well just save the item. I had an idea for a new minion. Ants! They're quick and lift 6 times its weight. Swarm thoughts. Maybe Swarmblade minion item changes locust to ant. Isn't there some like scale issue with the whole like ants lifting 6 times their weight on like on full size, full scale stuff, where it doesn't work anymore because they get too large and they collapse under their own weight or something? This might not be a thing, so don't quote me on this. Also, my goodness, that was some loot drops right there. That's our second prism wraps this run. That's hilarious. Yeah. Fighting chance. So blind. That's actually not a bad pickup. You're also gonna want to start picking up set items soon-ish, I think. Maybe. Possibly. Working on it. I think we might just use that though. Just the like 8 intelligence alone and the 30% increased spell damage. Is that? I think that's just enough to run it. There could be a boss ant called Aaron. Boss ant named Jemima. HNY. I don't know what that acronym means. Any plans for new MTX? Thanks. Yes, there are new cosmetics coming down the pipe, and they're pretty cool. Or was the movement coming to LE at some point? By the way, is awesome. Keep it up. Maybe. You know, it's a very, very hotly requested feature at the moment. you know, like we're testing out different options for it. Like there's definitely no timeline, no promises on any of it at all. But you know, like we are looking at, you know, this is something that the community is very vocally saying that they're interested in as a feature. And we love to deliver on things for people that they want. You know, it's kind of a simple, hey, a bunch of people want this, can we do it type thing, is sort of how we look at things like that. And so you know, we're exploring our options, but there's a few blockers in place that are making it possibly not feasible for us in next patch type thing. But you know, it's on the table. That's about the best I can say for it. We always want to add more stuff to the game, you know, and every single thing like that is a value proposition. So you know, if it was going to take us 100 dev hours to do compared to 1,000 dev hours to do, you know, like that's a pretty big difference in how many other things have to get cut for it to be added. And figuring out if that's worthwhile to cut those other things is a very tricky proposition. Very, very tricky thing to figure out. Thank you very much for the sub. Vanta Black, nice. Extremely black color, like absorbs some 90-something% of light that comes into it, so it's like crazy mega dark black, and it like looks like you're looking at nothing. It's really cool. Not the bees. Oops. More questions. Guns as a new weapon when? I mean, we don't have any immediate plans for guns and future tech and things like that. You know, it's a time travel game. It's not impossible. It does extend pretty far outside the typical theming of the game at the moment, so we have to be careful with stuff like that and make sure it's thematically appropriate and, you know, fits in logically into the game somewhat. Like how does a bow and arrow stack up against a gun? Certain situations it's great. You know, so there's tricky stuff there. They definitely can coexist thematically. And you do like low tech guns, things like that. They don't have to be like modern firearms. They can be like flintlock stuff, and so there's a lot of options there.
You seem a little decisive. He might be kind enough to show you how to tap into your true potential.
I'm going to look up and make sure what build was in that Terra monthly thing, so I picked the right mastery. It was Spellblade, I believe. Yes, it was a Spellblade. Even though we've been playing Glacier. Mana Strike's on our bar. It's fine. It counts.
If I then
Choose Mastery, Spellblade.
and focus on the
Confirm.
I see that you are still you.
Shadow Strike.
Strength will be necessary if our world,
Right.
our reality, is to have any.
I think we're gonna drop this. We go jump into Shadow Strike now. Where are we? Shadow Strike. Cool. I should see what I'd like to see. Shadow Strike. Let's rock and roll. It's just that easy. I do love the idea of doing the campaign at least once per season, but has any thought gone into letting alts skip campaign and farm idle slots and passives in monoliths? So we do still want to have that leveling process be part of the new character experience. Having having that level, and I very intentionally said the leveling process there, just to be clear, and having ways to make that leveling process customizable based on a player's experience and skill and resources is really important to us. Restricting I think restricting the idle and passive unlocks to the campaign has is probably as you point out, it's probably putting a bit of a wet blanket on the ideas of what I just said, of like giving players the opportunities to customize that leveling experience more, but forcing them down a specific subset of quests that exist in the campaign specifically is probably too heavy-handed a restriction on that freedom we're trying to allow in that leveling process. Kind of a roundabout way of saying, yeah, we're looking at expanding how you can get those unlocks. And we've this idea has been in the game for a long time. Like it says, there's 1 of 8 idle slot rewards that have been completed, but there's something like 15 places in the campaign that you can get idle slot rewards. So it's not saying you have to do these 8 quests, it's doing 8 of these 12, 15 quests. I don't know how many there are. And then passive is the same way. So it's like do 15 of these 20 quests. And so we want to have more ways that aren't exclusively campaign side quests to be able to unlock those rewards. Still having them available in the campaign, but also I'd say maybe having ways to earn them in endgame could be really positive, where an experienced player who maybe doesn't need that power for their build to have a good time early, who can get by with a lower power build early and then still unlock those things so their character's maximum potential isn't reduced later. Which allows you to take advantage of the campaign skips that are already in the game more aggressively.
Thank you. There is an old passage to the surface.
Because the campaign skips, if you don't happen to not know, there's dungeons that have sections that let you skip big chunks of the campaign. Which we could do. We could probably do one of them. Aren't we about to? We're just about to get to one. Should we try Lightless Arbor on level appropriate? I must have a key. I might not have a key. Lightless? Yeah, lots of keys. Let's try it.
Yes.
Stuff.
Follow your feet.
Are there any more uniques that we can do? Pride. Not a bad option. We're gonna want that. Underleveled pretty hard for that. We've got a dagger somewhere. We should probably equip this actually. P, send it to the LP. More cool stuff. Going once, going twice. There we are, that's what I want. Too low level. Not far off though, 37, okay. I knew I had one floating around.
Dwell on regret.
Dispel the barrier. All right, more questions. Staves with shield? Yep. Yeah, two-handed. I think it's any two-handed weapon with a shield. I think that's what how the note is worded. I have been capped on character slots for quite a while now. Wow. Any movement on getting extra paid character slots? We don't want to pay for extra character slots, but I do think we want to add more character slots. So I don't think you should have to pay for it, but I think we should be opening up more. Yeah, offline there's basically no limit, but online there is. And I know we changed something recently that should make it easier to add more as well. Sorry if I missed it, but were there any plans to to allow A button on controllers to be bound to an ability? I don't think we have any plans. I don't know. I know that was asked earlier, but you can rebind the controller mapping outside of the game to allow it if you want, if you're really itching for it. Or was the movement coming to LE at some point? Other games also keep good work. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a repost because the one didn't. It wasn't pinging me, and I saw it anyway. So I'm like, I'm just gonna answer it. Will the set item changes be in season 2? Maybe. Is there any plan to add an option for focusing lenses in tab priority? No, but I think we shouldn't we? There's a couple lens. There was some lens quality of life thing that we were adding. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was that though, but we should. Any considerations in the Sentinel changes to help with class fantasy? A lot of paladin builds focus on wands for spell damage, and running around with a little stick is a little underwhelming for a paladin. Things like converting weapon damage to spell damage come to mind, similar to nodes that Spellblade has. Yeah, there's things like that we've been looking at. I can't get into specifics on things like that, but yeah, that is an issue where you have this like off-theme weapon. Like, it's great to have off-theme weapons be optional and ways that you can like build into them and do cool stuff that like kind of you're breaking the game, but I think having the game break the convention itself is generally not ideal as like the default way. If it breaks the convention as like a weird optional roundabout way, it's fine, but having it be like the main way to play is best, I think. New skills coming to season 2? Yes, there are new skills coming to season 2. They're gonna be sweet. We have mana problems all of a sudden. We are gonna need to deal with those ASAP. EHG have announced that the next update would encompass things from the next, I think it's 2 updates we're supposed to say, next instead of next TO updates listed on the old roadmap, but the new one we have nothing about Ancient Era, Primal Hunt, or Primal Uniques. That is a true statement. We do not have anything about those 2 things on there. It is not a complete combination of the things that were on the old roadmap. It is that there is stuff that was going to go in each of them that's coming to this one. And there's things that weren't going to go in either of them that are going in this now. Like, it's, yeah. There's things that were going to go in 1.2, things that were going to go in 1.3, and things that weren't going to go in either one of them, and all 3 of those things are going into one. But it's not like everything from each. I apologize if there was some confusion there. Should move faster with that shrine. It was nice. What do I get? Speaking of wands, reach to the grave. Useless for me on this build. That's okay. Any chance to further develop controller support? There's lots of controller support stuff coming. I talked about it a little bit earlier. You can go back and check that out. But yes. Hello, Mike. For me personally, LE crafting system is my favorite. Thank you. I love it too. So I have a question related to that. What are your thoughts on a rare glyph that makes us able to increase affixes beyond tier 5? We do have a pretty hard rule on not doing that. On an item, but in return a random stat will drop by the same level of the increase. I think that's a really cool idea. I think it kind of goes against how we've tried to set up exalted affixes in the game's ecosystem in general, like the whole item system in general. And we do have plans for new ways to interact with crafting in the game coming. I'm sorry, that's not one of them. All right. More questions. Is shattering going to be streamlined? It's kind of minesweeper like chore trying to shatter full inventory. Oh. I don't think we have anything for that right now, but I understand the frustration. Any thoughts of stealing an idea from 40k Inquisitor? They have an in-game achievement for a class-specific thing, say cast 10,000 smites. It gives +1 stat, so you're incentivized to try out different playstyles without being super needed to get them all. We definitely talked about things like that, actually. I can't remember why we didn't do it. That was definitely discussed at length. It was before actually 40k was out, so I don't think it was specifically the 40k version, but something extremely similar to that was heavily discussed at one point. Oh. Keep this train rolling. We're at 16, we're 16, appropriately leveled. Mike. For shame. All right. To the surface! We've escaped. Funny, it's spelled just like the word escape. Will Aberoth remain the pinnacle boss in Season 2? And if so, will there be an in-game ladder for first kill? I don't know if there's going to be an in-game ladder for first kill. I think it'll still be the pinnacle boss, though, in Season 2. We are working on new ladders, though. I know that's the sort of thing that we are trying to get out. I don't know this. I can't speak to status specifically on Season 2 on that. But new ladders and new interesting ladders, that's something that we did. There was a brainstorming session on that I saw of like, hey, what do people want ladders for? And then let's build the back end to make those work. So I think we're in the let's build the back end to make those work phase. Give me treasure.
I cannot do that.
Treasure. Thank you. All right. What about bringing in something similar to raids with more than 4 people per party? Raids taking an hour or 2 per raid or something. It would be super cool to see more social type things put into the game. We're really hesitant to bring content into the game that requires more than one person to complete. I think if we did start doing raid style content, it would need to be things where you could like hire mercenary parties to like do it with you. It's a pretty high scope thing to be putting in that possibly borderline, goes against some stuff we want to do with the game. So it's low probability, I would say, but maybe in the future. It's a new style of content to add to the game, and at some point we're going to be looking for those and being like, where can we find one? I think this is necessary to just get that ward decay threshold. I do want to acknowledge there's more WASD questions, and I've talked about that a few times. It's in the we'd love to, don't know if it's feasible to do category. But we have been running tests. I think part of it is like we've been putting a large emphasis on quality in the game recently. So whenever we're looking to like add something, if someone's like, it's kind of janky, but I think it's really good to have, we're like, no, let's get a good quality version of it, not make a janky version of it. And that's sort of we've been really avoiding putting in like a low quality version now just to get something in there, and then we'll make it better later, and then it sits in the game for 3 years as this low quality version because it's kind of good enough and people get used to it, and then you're left with this kind of junky system and the game looks bad because of that, because it is, and it's a tricky thing to start putting things like that in because it then puts some like handcuffs on you to say, okay, well, next patch you have to do a good version of this because it can't sit in the game as a basic version. And so we and it is like, it does take time, and it takes time away from other things, and so there's a lot of stuff you have to weigh. But it is an extremely important feature to a lot of players now, especially that people have had a chance to try it out in other games. So who knows what'll happen with it at this point. And while it's not my personal cup of tea, I do really want, I love adding accessibility options for players. When someone's like, I couldn't play the game because some reason, now this thing got added and I can play the game now. Like that's great, right? that's 2 thumbs up awesome. Will we see new stuff around set items this patch coming or later? It'll either be this patch or next patch. We're working on it. Okay, you know what? Let's take a second out from killing monsters. Here is a cool little screenshot from the settings panel. I know it's kind of weird, like a settings panel. It's been dumb. Why don't we show some settings panel stuff? Well, this is a new option in the settings panel that will show up in 1.2. Slightly redacted. Stick it down in the corner, let's keep playing. I feel like I should almost jump down to the live and see what people are saying about it. Sorry, I'll get to your questions on it eventually. I apologize. I think if I was expecting a little bit more. We've had some slow streams recently, and I said I was expecting more people to show up this time, and there are. Happy to have all you here, love it. But I really do think I need to
I cannot do that.
get some help with the question stuff, because I'm not great at lining up questions efficiently.
I cannot.
Would you consider adding skins for the monolith room between echoes? I'd pay money for those. Also, sorry if I'm making too many questions. If there's no limit. I haven't noticed you asking too many. I've had lots of great questions. If a bunch of them have been you, keep asking them. I think it's a great idea. We don't have anything coming for that in 1.2. I'd love to see it. It's not the first time I've seen it suggested. But it is like, that's kind of one of those things we've talked about, hideouts being a little like off the beaten path, and we don't want people like hiding out. We want people playing together and things like that, but like having ways to show off cool things to your party members in Echo of a World, I believe that zone's called, or MREST is the scene code if you want to know. And yeah, I think it's a great idea. Dual class for the future, maybe like a druid necromancer. These means from both classes or without a setback. I love this idea. This is not the first time I've seen this suggested either. But yeah, I think it's great having like classes that combine multiple. It is really tricky because there's lots of things that are set up very specifically in the lower sections of the trees to synergize with other classes, and mixing and matching those causes some weird stuff to happen, and it might cause us to like nerf some nodes, or like I think we probably have to have certain nodes that were like, this just doesn't work if you're a hybrid class, like or a multi-class or a mixed class or whatever you want to call it. So I think there's a lot of fine-tuned balance stuff that would happen. There'd be a lot of spanners in the works type thing. But I would love to do it. I think it'd be a ton of fun. or the other thing as well is just like having items that give abilities. So it's just like you're like a rogue and you get a bow that gives you summon wolf. You know, like I think that's another way to do it as well, where you can just like put a single ability over. But you know, all things like that are stuff we like to explore. Any chance to further develop controller support? Yes, a bunch of stuff feels clunky in the state it is right now. Being able to lean back and slay stuff is so relaxing in other RPGs. Yeah, there's a bunch of targeting stuff coming this patch, and a bunch of like little menu stuff. I say little, it's a ton of hard work, but there's lots of stuff of like how menus are organized and certain hotkeys and things like that that's being improved, and lots of fixes and stuff like that for there too. But like the targeting is the big part of the controller stuff coming in this patch. Will we get a boss's first kill ladder? I don't know if it's going to be 1.2, but it is something that we are working on. Quality of life question: removing and equipping an item with a +X to skill affix always results in the skills with unused skill points. Is there a way to remember this? Sometimes for boss fights you want to swap items and you always end up with unused skill points. Maybe. We don't have anything like that for 1.2, I can tell you that. This is one of those things that it is a little frustrating for players, and we do get feedback on this category a fair bit. So I think that there is an issue to be solved. I'm not sure if that's the best way to solve it. It might be. But I do think that there is an issue to solve there. Yeah. Is there a possibility for auto pickup and storage for crafting materials like gold? Just gonna glance over this way for a second. All right, the crafting system in Ellie is so amazing. Thank you and the team for the hard work that's gone into that. But is there anything new or further improvements coming to the crafting system in next season? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, definitely yes. Yeah, I can't talk about it yet. See this big grin? Yeah. It's gonna be great. There's changes to things in these categories coming. There's additions, there's removal, and it's a good thing, trust me. There's other systems as well that are getting added for more crafting stuff in new situations. Yeah, there's lots of cool crafting stuff coming. Yeah, it's gonna be great. There was one meeting that I was sitting in. I was typing up like a recap from last meeting or something like that. I can't remember what it was I was doing, and someone made an offhand comment like, I really wish we could just do this, and it's like something like, oh, we'll never be able to do that. And someone else is like, we can do that, and I'm like, whoa, did I just hear what I think I just heard? Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, I'm excited for the crafting changes. I don't know if you can tell. Is there a possibility to get a skip campaign after beating one time like Diablo? I talked about this a little bit earlier. I hope you were there for that. Essentially, we're not planning on that, but we do want to increase the freedom people have to customize their character leveling experience, so that more advanced players are able to to take alternate routes easier, have it be faster, have it be like more challenging. But you know, if you're experienced player and you have a good build and you have maybe items that's an alt character, so you can jump ahead faster, and there's you have less risk of forgetting of having stuff be left behind. So we don't, a lot of times where it's like, okay, yeah, you can jump ahead and you can do it, and like, but I still have to go back and get these things. That's kind of a key point that we want to sort of fix. I did go past. I could go back for this. I thought we're going to do Lightless Arbor. We're going to go back. Do we have the waypoint here yet? We have the waypoint. We do have the waypoint. We're going back. We're going back. We're going to go try it. I don't think we have time to do it might do it next time. We'll start the next which way is it? It's up there. I walked right past it. Are you going to update the unique models to match the thumbnail when you equip them? For example, the body unique looks different. It's something that we're working on. It's going to take a long time to get them all in. There's not 1.2 is not going to be a huge update that include a huge update as far as unique body armors looking like the actual body armors. I'm sorry. More questions. Did I? Oh, it jumped all the way to the bottom. Was I that far behind? Oh my god, I was that far behind that it jumped me all the way to the bottom. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll up and answer some questions here. Let's speedrun some questions. Any graphics changes for the next update? Also, will you revisit UI somewhat, such as chat interface, friends list, maybe clean some things up? There's always updates happening around those things. I wouldn't say a complete overhaul in all of those categories, but there are updates in those categories. Any Val Orb style crafting coming in 1.2? No. Okay. A Psyker build in Last Epoch. Psyker. I don't know what that is. Like a Mesmer from Guild Wars? That's about the best thing that sounds like to me. I'm sure it's from a game that I should have played and haven't. If I skipped your question and you're like, that question was asked way after mine and I missed it, I'm really sorry. But I am far behind. Alright. Would love a Loot Lizard Queen boss that fights back. Yeah. Kind of like, we've talked about a few things like this. Something kind of like the end of the vaults in D3. Any plans for adding sound cues for loot filter like PoE? Hearing that ding when Epoch, nice Epoch item drops would be awesome. I agree. I don't think anything's in there right now for it. Do you feel any pressure from PoE 2 coming out as a competitor, or are you seeing it as a good source for ideas? I mean, I'm seeing it as a really fun, awesome game that I am enjoying playing, and I think it is only good for the genre, and by extension good for us that it is doing so well. All right. Question is, can we get out of here? I might just not be strong enough to do this. I may have to go put on some better uniques. My goodness.
I cannot do that.
Okay, this is gonna be tight. But I need to answer questions. I can finally talk about auto storage, thank you. You're welcome, Arrow Weird. Looks like people are enjoying this. That's great. This is not auto pickup, sorry to be clear. This is it's skipping this button. Would you be able to comment on what redacted is? It's a new item type that would have reacted to this button, but you're gonna get an option to make it not need to. similar to the things near it in the list. Yeah. I know you've been asked lots already, but any plans for offline MTX? I play exclusively offline and I've been money in my Steam wallet. I don't think we have, I don't think that's being actively pursued at the moment, but I think it is something that would be nice to do if we could. Can you reveal any ideas, build and class wise, you had to drop due to them adding too much complexity? Oh, good question. I mean, there's tons of stuff. Off the top of my head, can I think of one? It's a good example. Not really. Yes, here we go. And something that might hopefully come back. I have faith because we now have ways to interact with other abilities. We had the idea of a like a one player casts tornado and another player casts fireball. It hits the tornado, turns the fireball into, turns the tornado into a fire tornado, and does a bunch of extra damage and all that sort of stuff. And that got pulled. And that's why we actually have the fire tornado node. Oh wow, that's so exciting. Will Redacted also be able to Redacted, or is that a season 3 thing? The Redacted line is coming in season 2. The little screenshot there is a screenshot from what season 2 will look like, and we just that's Photoshop after the fact. You wanted to go do Lightless Harbor, I think. Thank you for the reminder. Morning, Mike. First time able to catch a stream live, which is great. What has been the biggest bottleneck to achieving a faster patch cycle, and do you feel the bottleneck is being resolved with season 2? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to this. We're definitely increasing our speed of doing things. That's absolutely true. More and more content is getting created faster and faster. There's like a dozen things we've done for that. I don't know what the biggest one would be. I'm sorry. Love the spoiler. Can't imagine ever unchecking a single one of those boxes. Yeah, me neither. But you know what? The option's the best way to do it. Happy New Year, Mike and Ichi. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, new specialization slot. Oh, gotta get that using. We might go a little long here. If everyone's or we're throwing it over to Aaron after this. I don't know what the timing of that is. Aaron, tell me if you're starting like immediately after the stream ends, or if I've got a little bit of a buffer time if I go late. Let me know if you're listening. Any plans for gear build loadouts? No. That's a tricky thing. I think having them without having a way to like wholesale swap between them, it's a tricky proposition to include. All right, more questions. So basically, y'all cooked and still cooking. Can't wait. Yeah. Do you feel health versus ward balance is in a good spot at the moment? I think that there is a significant amount of difference in the curves of where they get their power from. So like, I think the maximum potential of ward is probably a little bit higher, but I don't think the maximum potential is like dramatically higher. In a lot of situations. But the early potential is dramatically higher. So, you know, we're looking at changing those curves a bit. Okay, good. We got a little time. We're going to go a little bit late. Not crazy late. We're going to go a little bit late. Sorry. Someone's wanting me to finish for some other reason. Because we got lots of good questions, and I don't like cutting them off. Any chance for next season to contain a challenge A set of challenges, 40 to be exact? No? 40? This is a reference to something. I'm missing it. I'm sorry. I don't know what the reference is to. I should. I'm really early in PoE 2 and I've been intentionally not watching anything because I want to try and experience it all naively. So there's I'm guessing there's something there. I like going this way. Let's go that way for now. Up here. Cold pen. I think that's where we want to go. Let me just look. Yeah. Good. Not crazy. Well. Not making mistakes. Someone's replied to someone else and asking for a comment. Uh-oh. How do I find that? Oh, it's just a joke. Okay, cool. Are unique quest monsters supposed to respawn if you town portal after killing them and then just go back? This is an unfortunate side effect of the zones respawning. We are still working on better ways to make zone persistence play better and work better and all that sort of stuff. But until then, it's not a bug. It's a feature. Since you got kicked to the bottom, merch store update again. I don't have anything for you on the category. I apologize. These bees are MVP of this build. Fight amongst yourselves.
I cannot do that.
If you didn't know, mages, exiled mages, will fight. They're enemies to everyone. They'll fight each other, and so you can actually use the exiled mages to kill things. If you want.
I cannot do that.
Come on.
I cannot do that.
Come on. Do 0 damage here. I need to fix that.
I cannot do that.
Pebbles, not bad.
I cannot do that.
Okay, more questions, Mike. This is the problem with me going down this path, is that it's actually kind of difficult. Since you got kicked to the bottom, yeah, thanks to deterministic crafting. Not entirely, but you know, deterministic elements I think are really great. Volcanic orb tree getting any love? Not a ton. Merch store 2025? Gosh, I sure hope so. Curious about 2 things. Marksman lacking flat cold damage for elemental arrows. Bush and Spellblade lacking decent lightning melee options. Are those intentional? I mean, I think there's some pretty powerful lightning melee options available. One of my buddies is playing a lightning melee build that's great for Spellblade. So yeah, I think they might not be. There might be room for some extra stuff, but I don't think it's like barren wasteland type thing on most of those. Cold is a low. Cold for marksman, yeah, that's being intentionally not there, yeah. Considering the length of the campaign, is there a worry that LE seasons / leagues may not be participated in, or will there be supplemental campaigns during those times where the original campaign is skippable? I think people that are experienced enough to be like having done the campaign a few times are doing it very quickly, and we are looking at new ways to augment that with as more experienced players. And I missed a sub, I apologize, and there's a new one here too, so wonderful. Gunsteam V, thank you for the sub, appreciate you. And shoot, Ferrera B 2735, I appreciate you, thanks for being here. All right, Last Epoch rune words confirmed. Oh my goodness, I would love rune words. The legendary crafting is kind of a similar vibe initially to rune words. Is sort of a similar feel from a like game design standpoint. Any chance for hardcore run high corruption maps, making your build voided and deleting instead of going to standard or normal seasons? Probably not. I think anyone who really cares about that's just going to stop playing it anyways when it gets kicked out and they don't have access to their stash. But this way it gives people who are like, I want to try it, but I don't know if I'm actually going to enjoy it, a chance to do that with a little less risk. So I think it'll get more people into it. Are the cycles going to be a yearly update? No. If so, what's causing the bottleneck between cycles? We've never had a cycle go a full year. Have the boss war changes been implemented to the community test realm? I believe so, yes. If so, how has it been received by the community testers? I haven't looked, I'm sorry. I know what we've said about it has been received very well. Podcast starts in 96 minutes. Okay, cool. I know this is a little while ago. Happy New Year. How difficult was it to implement the auto sort for inventory? Playing PoE 2, I highly missed that. And Ellie telling me that the heck damage type I died to. The damage type died to was actually tricky. The sort is a terrible sorting algorithm that I wrote forever ago and really wish we would fix because it's so bad. It is not. It is a first year computer science major level algorithm to do it. The version we're using, it's terrible, and I apologize for the mistakes it makes. This guy, there is a way to get this character to join you at the end of time.
Only by guiding you.
PoE 1 has 40 challenges every league. Oh, I see what you're saying. I totally forgot about those. Yes. I love that system. That's a good one, right? Isn't that something people like? Totally forgot about it. It's been a while since I've actually tried to complete one of them. Would you say these bees are the bee's knees? I absolutely would. Yes. Will there be new experimental affixes, and will other item types get any? If so, experimental affixes, I would say there are some minor adjustments to some experimental affix things, but it's not a significant change happening. It's not like oh shoot. Oh wow. Okay, nice. Thought I was just dead because I made a mistake, but it took pity on me. Oh gosh. That's just me being an idiot. I'm like, oh, let's teleport and use my movement ability that I need to save myself. Oh, and of course you can't redo it. I forgot that wasn't an option. I would have picked my gear out more carefully. Okay, well, we're over time. And next time, I'm not going to finish here. I'm going to answer a bunch more questions. Next time, I'm going to actually do that, and I'm going to succeed. Because I'm going to take a second and actually put some better gear on. And I'm going to play not like an idiot, and we're going to do it. Let's answer some questions to round this out. I haven't played in a while, but my fave skill is hammer throw. There wasn't any good modifiers to it for lightning damage besides idols. Has this been changed, or will this be a new changed in the new season? I don't think there's significant lightning damage updates in 1.2 to hammer throw. I don't think it's in 1.2. Since you are balancing around 300 corruption-ish, any plans for balancing favor and loot in a way where people won't feel forced to play 700 plus corruption if they want maximum efficiency? I mean, there's... You're always... I think the pursuit of efficiency is very natural, and I think if we... I think we'd have to put pretty significant diminishing returns on corruption's application to favor gain. And I don't think that would be very well received in general. Will there be... But I hear the problem you're talking about. I think there's better solutions. Will there be, in the future, a way to see how much favor an enemy gives upon death or something similar? And will there be any other ways to gain favor much faster? I don't think there... I understand this. I'm sorry for the non-answer here again. I understand the problem you're getting at, and we do have some changes to address that feeling. There's probably not going to be a way to say like this monster gives this much favor. Favor is directly related to experience, and you can just like look at your experience bar, kill something, look at your experience bar, and you can figure it out that way if you want. But the concern is heard and understood, and we are making adjustments on that category. But I can't really talk about it yet. Sorry. Yeah. Not a question, but I just really appreciate the way you guys give an option to pursue trade or solo play and increasing rewards. It's the best way I've seen done in all ARPGs. Thank you. I heard the controller updates will be amazing. They are pretty good. Does that mean traversal skill ground targeting has been updated, possibly to mimic the shield charge ability where it continues to traverse until the button is released? So there's no, like, so if you're targeting teleport won't let you like hold down teleport button and it like move the cursor out, and then like once you let go it teleports you. We still want that teleport to happen immediately when you first press the button, and that delay time, it feels terrible with an ability that needs to happen instantly. So it's still gonna try and pick a point, but it's gonna pick it a little bit smarter. Actually a lot bit smarter, but yeah. If GGG had New Year's resolutions, what would it be? If GGG had New Year's if EHG, I think that's it must be EHG. What about you? Obviously you tackled weight loss like a champ. Any personal goals this year? I see what you're saying. I actually started the weight loss thing on April 1st, not January 1st. Don't know why, just sort of started, but I think, just tons more content. I think that would be the big, just like this is 2025 is going to be Last Epoch's, I hope, the most content released that we've had. That would be my goal. That'd be my personal goal. It's just like get as much content out as possible. And like, I know the main project I'm working on right now that's for post 1.2, it like the number, like we're like, okay, we need this many of this thing. Mike, start now because it's gonna take you a long time. Like that number is an absurd number where I'm like, we're gonna do it, we can do it, but like it's crazy. when that gets revealed, you'll be like, I see what you've been doing for the last year, Mike. Yeah. So yeah, lots of content. I think that's the big thing. It's just this is content year. Content. All right. Can we skip the campaign, mid-game, endgame, and alts? Just put game skips so I can complain about no content. I think this is a bit of a meme. We are. I think that there's like having. I think that the lack of variety in the campaign hurts it a bit for returning players, for people who've like been playing Last Epoch for 5 years and have done the campaign 100 times, and that there is a lack of variety there. I think it hurts it quite a bit, and I do really want to add more variety to that, and like get more dungeons in, get more mechanics in, get more like seasonal style mechanics that show up and affect the campaign experience and things like that. And so, you know, like a new player comes back who maybe skipped 3 seasons and comes back and starts playing, and they're like they got to do the campaign again and start the season, but it's like, oh my god, there's all this new stuff that I'm experiencing in the campaign, and I'm learning these mechanics throughout the campaign that then help you dive into endgame really smoothly. And I think that's a really positive experience. And then a player who's like, I'm making my 5th alt this season is able to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna like start here and jump to this point and jump to that point, and I'm into endgame super early, and I'm like 30 levels under leveled, but who cares because I've got this sweet legendary axe. And you know, just I think that those experiences are both really important, and having both those flow and feel good is great. Totally agree on the delay feeling bad. Thank you for answering me. I always dislike traversal abilities on controller across all games because sometimes getting used to it for escaping body blocker issue. Yeah, and I think there's we do have a variety. As you point out, there are some movement abilities that play a lot better on control than others, like charge style abilities where you are holding that button down and you can, and like the ability is balanced around having that functionality work that way, or fixed distance dashes, so such as things like where surge and shift. Things like that work really well as on controller because they go the same distance no matter what, so you just got to pick the direction. And the new systems we've got for controller targeting will help that direction feel a lot better more frequently. Like little things like there's if you take smoke bomb, and there's a node in smoke bomb that makes it a backflip, and there's a node in smoke bomb that makes that backflip into a front flip. And currently, I think if you take the backflip node, it targets properly, but if you take the front flip node, it actually like turns you around and goes the wrong direction or something like that. And it's there's a weird thing with the controller right now with those nodes, and there's a whole bunch in the new targeting stuff that specifically will target in the proper positions to make those like feel way better based on what's happening. Right. I've been gone for maybe 8 months, Mike. Looking sexy, my dude. Thank you. Feeling good. What is it, Mike? What is it? Sorry. No can do. Any plans on making the time spent on arena be rewarding? Speaking on loot, something like how Grim Dawn handles it right now, it's better to just run monoliths and ignore the arena completely. I think I think there's room for some like arena rewards. I'd love to see arena rewards be really good in arena, and not so great elsewhere. And I don't know how best to do that really. Will Lich get more love? It will. Some of the stuff we wanted to do for Lich didn't make it into 1.2. I'm sorry. Sorry, Heavy. There's also, I think, there's some stuff though. It's not nothing, but there's, yeah. There's also, I think, a smoke bomb interaction where you're inside the smoke. You can't work with other abilities, but it doesn't throw at feet as an option. Yeah, it would be a great option. That hasn't happened yet. Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, it throws that one right at your feet every single time, so that it doesn't throw outside of where you are, so it actually works. And there's another one where it uses a ranged shot and makes sure to shoot that one really far away at an enemy specifically, because you're using it to like blind and debuff enemies instead of buff yourself. So yeah, there's smoke bomb was a ton of context specific, like specialization and context specific targeting options that it will like it checks the like, okay, there's enemies over here, you're facing this direction, and it uses all of that information to pick the best target in that situation. And there's going to be some things that aren't perfect in the initial version because there's a bajillion combinations, and we've tried to hit every combination we can, and we've been testing it, but I'm sure someone's going to come with a build and be like, no, in this weird build situation I want to throw really far away even though it buffs, and we're like, okay, well, let's find out a way to make it learn that. So yeah, I think it'll be like 98% amazing, and there'll be a few edge cases that we'll need to fix still. Just want to thank you guys for thinking of controller players. But most of all, thank you for the hybrid controller support. It's an amazing feature in your game. Yeah, you're welcome. Glad you like it. Clap. Bravo, sir. Thank you for the love. Thoughts on your controller players. We appreciate it. You're welcome, guys. This is great. Range judgment when using a staff skill node when? Ooh, range judgment when using a staff skill. That's a cool idea. I have no idea. This is a very late character sheet rework reminder. Yeah, oh my god. I'm sorry, it's not done yet. We're getting close to the end of here. I think this is if you have any questions, give it a couple minutes. If you got any more last second ones, drop that in. Cyborg, I appreciate it. It's a good one. I had a big problem targeting buffs on minions. Will the controller patches fix that? It'll definitely help a lot, because yes, that is a problem one where it targets the specific spot. There's still some like stuff happening where even if you get the targeting perfect, it doesn't always hit the thing you want it to hit exactly, but it does. It will target the abilities a lot more accurately. It'll target it on an enemy. It might not be the exact, or sorry, on an ally. It might not be the exact ally you want it to target, but it'll try and do its best based on what the ability is. So like it'll try and figure out if you should probably be targeting like the biggest thing or the smallest thing or the highest health or the lowest health, and it'll try and do that automatically. And it doesn't always get it perfectly right, but it's a lot better than it was before. It can survey the battlefield pretty well and figure out where best to do stuff. What was your favorite treat to enjoy during your holiday away? I mean, I didn't get one this year because I was trying to be good. But my okay, here's what we made these. It's like caramel corn, chocolate, almonds, and cashews that we like big families who can't get like proper presents for every single person, so we make gigantic batches of that instead and hand them out. So I had a little bit of that. It was really good. But Terry's chocolate orange is my like favorite Christmas treat, and I didn't get one this year. It's okay though. It was intentional. We know your favorite class. What's your least favorite thematically, not balance wise? I don't know. You know what? Probably actually mage, I think. I think. I don't know. I really like it though. Like, my least favorite is still an 8 out of 10. All right, here, we're just gonna wrap this up, I think. Dev kits win. I'm tired of hand rolling JSON. I don't have anything. I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you on that front. It doesn't have to be sweets. That's a good point. I made, my wife got a cookbook as a present from her dad 9 years ago now, and we've never made, it's a like ridiculously fancy cookbook, and we've never made anything out of it because we're just like, all the recipes that start with like 3 days before, start doing this. And so I made dinner out of that. And that was amazing. That was amazing. It's the first time I've ever bought tenderloin. It was like my wife's big Christmas present was like dinner that I made, but it was great. But yes, it took the first one of the recipes started with 3 days before the meal. You have to start doing something, and we didn't even eat it because it was the dessert and we were all too full. Anyways, okay, that'll about do it for me. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's head on over to Aaron. He's got a podcast starting. Will there be more interesting MTS cosmetics? Yes, lots more MTS cosmetics coming. They're awesome. They're fantastic. They look pretty. They look cool. I'm excited to share them with you all. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. I had a blast. I hope you did too. I'll be back same time, same place. Oh, I also missed Joe Breeze, my guy. Appreciate the bits, buddy. And that'll do it for the end of the stream today. I'll be back same time, same place next week. Have a great time. Drink lots of water.